Parenting in Islam is about raising awareness of both deen and dunya. It's about understanding the ibadah, adab, and ikhlaqiyat. Join me, Sadia, every Sunday, 10 to 11 a.m., and let's share each other's experiences of parenting. Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Kareem. How is the fast going, everybody? Let me know in the comments. I would love to read your comments. I'm back with my another show on parenting. We will talk about it in a minute. Let's wait for the audience to come and join us live. I would really love to have some mummies on the show so that we would be sharing our experiences. That would be really very great. So if there's any mummy listening to the show, please join us via Facebook comments, because that's the only thing I feel comfortable talking about. So let's have a little bit of revision. What we did in the last or the previous program. So we learned about many things in last show, parenting in Islam. This is the topic of our show, and there are going to be 4 shows, and we are going to cover the 5 pillars of parenting in Islam. So this is really very interesting that if we follow these 5 rules and the 5 pillars, the parenting would become really very easy for all the mothers. It is a very tough job. It is not easy at all. So when we are going because of course parenting doesn't come with the rule book. There's no rules to how to parent. It's a very tough job, and everybody, we all are like naturally we become parents. So the pillars we spoke about is our character, 5 pillars: character, knowledge and skill, action, steadfastness, and positive relationship. So we spoke about 2 things. One was the character. That parents' character is really very important to be very, very strong. If you're not strong in your character, then it would be really very difficult for your children to follow you. If your character is very strong and you set the examples, then only then they would be able to follow you, and not just follow you, they would, without any resistance, they are going to be good human beings. So it is really very good to first of all work on yourself, know who you are. Your character should be really very strong. And then under the heading of character, we spoke about our own traumas. Because when we are like, of course, nobody is free of traumas. We all have some sort of trauma. So if we are not safe from the traumas, it would be really very difficult to, okay, I have gone offline from my Facebook page. So let me see what is the problem. So when we are, just give me 1 second. We will be back. There's a problem. मिया जी ऑफलाइन हो गया, ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट है यार इसको करना. मैं ना सीख लूंगी आपसे. मैं आपको भाई 1 मिनट आपको कॉल करता हूं. It is very, very difficult. Yes, so we are back live. So we were discussing what we discussed in the previous show. There were 2 things which we discussed. One, there were 5 pillars in Islam, And then the second thing was putting up a goal. So what were those five pillars in Islam? We spoke about first two pillars, and there, of course, this is the series of four programs during the Ramadan. So we are going to talk. We spoke about two pillars, yeah, a lot in last show. So those two pillars were character and then steadfastness. These were the two strong pillars, and we spoke about it really, very well. So parents have to have a really very thank you so much for joining us, Hadi Ahmed. So parents have to have a very strong character. If we are not true Muslims, if we are not true believers in ourselves, then what examples we are setting for our children? We have to be practicing, and we have to show them, and we have to set a character in front of them so that they would follow. It would be easier for them. As it is said, and it is true, that children are like molds. Whatever shape you're going to give them, they will adopt that shape. So it's better that you provide them that mold so that they would follow you and they don't have to follow anybody else, because there are risks and chances for them to follow something bad. So it lies within the parents that they both have to decide that how they have to raise their children. The family meeting, the family talk is really, really very important. So we spoke about the character, we spoke about the self-esteem. We're here. There is one thing very important, that self-esteem itself is a whole large chapter, and we are going to cover that in our next show, that how as parents, how as mothers and fathers, we are going to boost our self-esteem so that we would be better parents. Like sometimes we find and we feel that our children, they are triggering us. We find and we feel that they are challenging our limits, and it is really very difficult for us to cope with that situation. So for that, we need to understand ourselves first, and once we'd understand ourselves, only then we'd be able to be good parents. So character and self-esteem are really go side by side in parenting, and it's really very important to have a strong character. Then we spoke about knowledge and skill. If the parents are knowledgeable, then they can able to transfer it to their children. If we are not knowledgeable, knowledge doesn't mean that I know many mothers. Assalamu alaikum, Zainab Faraz. Thank you so much for joining us. If there's anything, can you please write it down under the comment? It would be really very good. So yes, I was talking about the knowledge and skills. So knowledge just doesn't mean that if the parents are very educated, only then they would be able to bring up a good child. Knowledge also comes with the skills. So as soon as you are teaching them the skills, as soon as you are raising them as a very sound, content, and happy child, you are doing a very good job. But it is our duty to gain knowledge and also the skill, because it is like a challenge that you have got a responsibility on yourself. As we spoke about this ayat for Quran Sharif last style Surah Namal, last in our last show from Surah Namal, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the ayat is not in front of me right now, so I'm going to go to the meanings of the Quran. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that your wealth and your children are your test, and only with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lies the reward. So only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is going to reward you. And as we discussed in last show, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described rewards of everything, that what we are gonna get in different deeds. But what does it mean that the reward lies with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It means that the reward is going to be unimaginable. It is manifold as compared to other deeds. So whenever you are in distress and whenever you are going through stress and frustrating times, just remember that this turmoil is not without any is not in vain. There is going to be a catch at the end. You have to be focused towards the bigger picture, that every turmoil is giving you an opportunity to gain the more sawab, to gain the more and bigger reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's where you have to keep your eyes on, and that's where you have to put your focus on, and then parenting will be less easier for you. Because what happens is, we find ourselves as mothers, especially, we find ourselves really very lonely in it sometimes, that there is nobody who can give us a cup of tea, and there is nobody who can understand us, and there are more people to judge us, that, oh, your child is misbehaving, so it's mother's upbringing. Oh, your child is not good at study, so it's mother's upbringing or the parents upbringing. So always remember that these challenges will always come with the reward. And with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lies the reward. So always keep your eyes on the bigger picture, and it will soothe you down. So, and then we spoke about in our last show, we also spoke about the actions, that what actions we are gonna take with the character, knowledge comes after. The third pillar was action. We spoke about these three pillars in our last show. So action should be really very we have to be very certain about our actions, that what actions we are going to take, and then we have to have a set boundary. Now, some people do not like the boundaries with the parenting. So it's their own opinion, and there are so many theories supporting their opinions. So I'm not going to say that this theory is wrong or that theory is wrong. I am just here to give you my opinion of parenting. And I'm going to give you my experience of parenting. So it's at the end of the day, it's going to lie with you, that what is better for your environment and what you want to adopt. So for me, the boundaries are really very important. You have to set your boundaries around the kids, and with the boundaries, there are three types of the boundaries. One boundary is when you are really very strict, and there are so many boundaries around the kids, and they have to get them. And then there is a very strict regime that you have to follow, and you have to keep doing it. In that kind of environment, the children, they find themselves confined in a jail, and they feel that they are so suffocated, and then they want to rebel. So that kind of boundary is not good, or that kind of discipline is not good. As Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our last prophet, always emphasized on the middle way. He always said that, don't be an extremist. Go the both at sides. Either they are too good or either they are too bad. Always remain in the middle. The middle path is always the right path. And then there are the boundaries when you're not consistent about it. One day you get up, you would say that, yes, this is your regime, you have to do that. And then the other day you are tired, you have a mood swing, you don't feel like doing it, and then you don't bother telling it to your children. So that the children, they get confused. Should we do it or shouldn't we do it? Like one day you would say that, okay, now you can bring in the muddy slippers inside the house, I'll clean it later, let's have fun. And the next day you were just calling them that, why did you bring the muddy slippers, I just cleaned the house. And then the other day they didn't know that should they bring their shoes in or they shouldn't bring the shoes in. So there are three kinds of discipline and boundaries. One is really very strict, which is of course not really very good. And the other one where the child is always very confused. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. So it creates a lot of confusion. The boundary or the discipline which is really very good is consistent boundary and a consistent discipline. They should know that what they are doing. I know it's really very difficult, but there are tools and there are skills on which we're going to talk about later in the show, that how you can do things that your boundaries and your disciplines would come into consistency, that they would be there forever. So with kids, it's really very easy. Like as a mother, if I talk about from my experiences, we think in the beginning that, I can just do it for 1 week. After a week, I won't be able to carry on with this. But trust me, after a week, the children, they're going to be disciplined by themselves and they will follow the regime. Like when the COVID started, I would love to have some of your stories if you would like to comment something. Thank you so much, Sadi Bashir, for watching with us. I would like to have some comments. I would be really very great if you write down some comments. Sadia Bashir, can you please go to my Facebook page and watch on the Ramadan FM? That would be really very nice. Assalamu alaikum, Tausif Shazad. Thank you so much for watching with us. If there's anything, please write it down in the comment below and I will read it during the show. So yes, we'll talk about the skills later on, that how to be persistent and consistent towards making the discipline and boundaries. But first, we are talking about the boundaries and the discipline itself. So yes, when the COVID started, it was really very difficult for me to take care, make a routine for the kids, and we kind of, yes, we were scared. Everybody was scared, but we went into a holiday mood. That, oh, there are no schools, we can sleep late and we can get up early, we can get up late in the morning, we can have lunch, dinner, whatever, we can have a breakfast whenever. But always remember that having a routine at this age is not just good for you yourself, but for kids as well throughout their lives. Because our body, as you must know, that we have like certain hormones and they would release at certain time. So having breakfast at till minimum 9 a.m. is really very good. After that, your hormones, they're not ready, or they don't work, or they don't function accordingly for the breakfast. So breakfast is good for 9. And then after 12 or after 1 o'clock is the time for your lunch. And then your dinner should be at 8 o'clock. So when you make a routine, when you make a regime, then your kids will follow. And for throughout their life, it would be very easier for them. I belong to a family. I lived in a joint family. I grew up in a joint family where there were people, like it was a compact joint family. It was a very big house and we were living in that. And I had so many cousins. So some were waking up at night and they have different routines. So I was a bit confused when I grew up. But when I became parent, when I became a mother, I figured out that no, it's not working. Before marriage, it's fine because you are responsible of your own self and you're not affecting anybody. But for children, you have to be really very strict about the discipline and the boundaries because you are going to raise them. I had to go through a therapy sessions to bring it into my, and I'm still going through it. I'm still struggling for it because I was not raised like that. And I can see the difference between people who follow the routine and with myself. So we have to bring it in. We have to keep reminding ourselves that how important the routine is. So eating food in time, going to bed in time, having a play date, and in a certain and set boundaries, everything is really very important. So my point here is that following the routine, making a discipline, setting the boundaries is not only going to help you in a longer term, but it would also bring up your child in a very successful manner. And they would always follow the routine. They would never be late, like more likely. They would never be late for their laziness from the work. They would always be very successful. So it is really very good thing. So let's talk about the steadfastness, how you're going to be. This is the fourth pillar of parenting in Islam. So we are going to talk about the skills and how we can be steadfast while being parent and while setting the boundary. While setting the boundary, we have to have certain rules. So what we normally do is we would ask the whole family to come join us on the table. Bring the paper and pencil, let's sit together and let's make some rules. So all the family members would come and they would sit together, they would join, and then you will ask them, what do you think? What the rules should be? And they would then discuss that, okay, mama, one would say that, mama, we should brush our teeth early in the morning. Other would say that, oh yes, we need to finish our food in time because I'm struggling with that. My kids, they don't finish their food in time. So that is a bit of a problem. And I have set this goal for myself for the next week that this is what we are gonna do. So so the whole family is really very important. So the whole family should sit together and they have to make a certain discipline in the house, that these are the rules. You have to maybe get up early in the morning, brush your teeth, or wash your face, and after that you have to finish your breakfast, say the namaz, and after that you can just read the book, or you can have a TV time. I allow my kids to have a TV time because I think that the reward is really very important. For me, getting the toothbrush done and having their breakfast finished is a very big achievement. So they are allowed, after these two things, they can have the TV time, or they can play on PS, or any screen time at all. And after that they have their school, of course, so online classes. So if you guys are not having online classes, then of course it's the study time. They should sit down, they should study for some time, and then comes the lunch time. Then before the lunchtime, you all, of course, I always give them some time out, that time in, that we all can sit together and we can have some chit chat, or they can just go out and have some fresh air, and whatever they want to do, they can do in that 20-15 minutes and the lunchtime. And after the lunchtime, they are free. From my side, they're free. They can have fun, they can do whatever. I have some I'm very much interested in like reading and writing, so I just set them the task for them, that you have to do this if you want, and try to make it very playful so that they would do it. And this is the routine I'm telling you, what is happening in my life during this lockdown, because Pakistan has entered into a very very bad situation, and I hope that we get better from here instead of going bad, going into the worst condition, and worst situation. So I really really hope that we just stop this and control this situation here at this time of the COVID. So it is up to you. So the bringing the family together on the table is really very important. So everybody will make the rules, and it will help you in two things. One, you would understand that your children know that what are the rules. Two, you would understand that they would like tell each other that, oh, you are not brushing your teeth, you have to brush your teeth, and the other one would say, so you don't have to just keep repeating it again and again. So the yelling would come down, your frustration will come down immediately. So that would help a lot. So family meeting is really very important. And then we were talking about the behavior chart. Excuse me, my throat is really very dry today. So how to do it? This is the skill. How to make your children disciplined. How to set the boundaries for your children. This is a very big task, and the skills, there are two skills, two very similar skills. One, that you have to make a routine first. They are going to follow you. You have to be very very active and very very punctual in time. So if you don't have a routine, then your children won't be having a routine. So you have to have a routine, and then your kids will follow you. And the other skill is, you have to make a chart. Let me ask Mama Tari to bring the chart. Mama Tari, can you please bring the chart from the kitchen? The behavior chart. Thank you. So you don't, like, I have a specific chart. You don't have to have the same one. You can just draw it, or you can give it to them. He will bring, I'll show it to you. You set a task for your children, and then you give them the days that, okay, you have to follow this routine for 3 days. We always start with lesser numbers. Let's start with 3 days. Then we go up to 4 days. I'm sorry for my throat. Yes. So this is the chart, as you all can see. So these are the stars here, and you can stick it here, and this is the aim. So what you do is, you can just make it on the paper. It shouldn't be really very big. So what you can do is, you can make a small paper, write like here I have written what you have to do the next days, and then you keep putting the stars here. When you will keep putting the stars, we'll discuss about it after a commercial break. We are heading towards the commercial, and we'll come back after a short commercial break. Okay, we have 20 seconds left.
are listening to Ramadan FM. Feed your soul while your body fasts.
Ramadan Mubarak from Caprino's Pizza. After a long day of fasting, order our delicious pizzas, sides, cookies and much more to break your fast. During this Ramadan, we are offering 15% off if you order online, as well as free delivery, plus special offers if you collect. You can order from Just Eat, Deliveroo, Uber Eats and our website, caprinospizza.co.uk. For more details, contact 01908 675 947 or visit North 10th Street, Lloyd's Court, Milton Keynes City Centre, MK9 3EL.
Allah has bestowed us with another Ramadan. Its days are the perfect time to help the suffering Ummah with our supplications and our charitable giving. Make the difference with UK charity Ummah Welfare Trust by supporting its emergency, development and Ramadan programs. We are part of the Ummah, and the Ummah is a part of us. So be generous and donate for our brothers and sisters this Ramadan.
Families Relief are working on a special Ramadan program that needs your help and support. Whether you would like to donate zakat, sadaqah, fidya or fitrana, your Ramadan donations will help us distribute food and clean water to impoverished families in needy countries like Pakistan, Yemen, Syria, Palestine and Africa. Help us to help them survive this Ramadan. Donate now on 0114 365 4454 or go online to familiesrelief.org.uk. Together we can save lives.
Ramadan Mubarak from Adam Accounting Services.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Need help with your accounts and tax work?
Contact us today on 01908 692 380 and see how we can help.
Adam Accounting Services. Friendly local accountants. Call us today on 01908 692 380.
Join Faisal and Kunza every Saturday.
We will be talking about holy places, holy books, holy nights, and holy money.
We'll also be interviewing sheikhs and nasheed artists and busting myths about Islam.
Faisal and Kunza.
Every Saturday from 7 p.m. until iftar.
Welcome to Banter on Bikes with your host Zabs
and your co-host Sof. We cover a range of interesting topics, all through the lens of a Muslim cyclist.
Every Saturday and Sunday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. on Ramadan FM.
For a list of all our sponsors, please visit ramadanfm.com.
Ramadan, 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 87.9 FM.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to the show. And we will be discussing the tools. Yes, we will be discussing the tools of how to implement the boundaries and the discipline. So we went on a small short break and we are back from the short break, and those who have joined us now, please do comment on Facebook, and it would be really very good to have you guys on my show and listen to you and to your experiences as well. It would be really very good. And so yes, a little bit of quick reminder what we have studied up till now. We have studied about the four important pillars of Islam, and we will be in the next show. We'll be talking about the self-esteem or the self-awareness of the parents, because if parents are not self-aware, then it is really very difficult for them to not to be triggered from their own children. Because there are certain things we all have some traumas, maybe from our friends, maybe from our siblings, or maybe from our society, but we all have some kind of traumas. We all have some disorders as well. And if we are not aware of ourselves, then it would be really very difficult to raise a sound and a very confident and a very happy child. To raise children, it is very, very important to know yourself first. There is no manual book to be parents and how to do the parenting right. And there is no certain set do's and don'ts, and there are no certain rights and wrongs. Of course, you are parents, and according to your society, according to your circumstances, you just go on and keep doing things, and most of the times they are right, and sometimes it gives you some negative effects. Sorry, excuse me. So we were talking about the three pillars in the last show. We spoke about character, that parents' character should be really very strong. Then we spoke about the knowledge and skills, that parents should have some sort of knowledge and skills, and they would know that how they're going to raise the child, and they would understand that what boundaries and discipline they have to arrange in the house, and they would understand that how they are going to do that, the skills, how to do that. And then the third one was steadfastness, that you have to be really very certain and really very strong on making those discipline, and stay steadfast and do not try to deviate. It's really very easy and it's very, very difficult, but trust me, once you build up a habit in your child, it would be not just easier for you, it would be easier for your kids as well. So yes, we were talking about the skill, how to do all that, how to put this discipline, and I showed you the parenting chart. It shouldn't be like this, the way I have here. You guys can make it at home. It shouldn't be really very expensive. You can just have a simple plain chart and you can give it to your kids. Before doing that, we have a discussion that you have to have a family meeting, and in family meeting you will ask the kids, and you will ask your partner or your husband or your wife to bring up the rules, and your kids will also bring up the rules. And once they will bring up the rules, and then it would be really very easy for you to just implement them. So now you would know that there are rules in the family, and then it would be easier for you to implement them, because they all will tell each other that this is the rule, you have to follow this. And then the yelling and the frustration will come down as well. The skill how to do that is the chart. This is a very good skill. It has worked everywhere, and it has done the wonders. So make this chart and set the rule. For example, this eat all my food. I'm going through with this. Eat all my food. My little one is not eating her food. She's giving me a lot of trouble. My mother was not fine. I left home. I was taking care of my mother. So she was with her grandmother, and her grandmother doesn't have her a lot because of the COVID. So she's a bit spoiled. You know, she was taking care of her. She just loves my younger one. So she's a bit spoiled, and she has lost that. So I've set up a rule, and then every day what you're going to do, you are going to put a sticker on. Day 1, oh, you have done it. Day 2, oh, you have done it. So we always start with for the radio people who are listening to me, I'm so sorry, I'm just showing it and I forgot that I'm going live on the radio as well. It is a chart. In the beginning you have to put the goal, and then you have to write Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or if you start from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, from wherever you start. My chart starts from Saturday. So Saturday, it starts from Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then every day you have to put a sticker in front of the day that this task is being accomplished, and you put a star in front of the day. And when you put a star, then there should be a reward. So my kids love watching movies. And now, they love watching movies. Oh, thank you so much. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for watching us. It's lovely that, we are connected. We should do some FaceTime as well. So at the end, you have to give a reward. Reward is really, really very important. So you have to put the reward, like I have put the reward right now is that she's going to watch a movie after 3 days of her choice. So mashallah, alhamdulillah, I've got 4 kids and movie time is a bit tough. It's difficult. So everybody has their own choice. So my reward, it really works. So you have to see that what reward at your end works. So my reward is really very simple. I have to put the movie of their own choice. So you have to make a chart like this. This is a discipline chart. So you have to put a task, give them a task, set a rule for 3 days. This routine is for 3 days if you're starting it. So keep giving them and involve them. Ask them, okay, you come on and put the chart here, put the stars here. And then after 3 days, if they accomplish, then you give them the reward. Giving the reward is really, really very important. They would feel accomplished. They would feel that, okay, we are getting into we are doing something nice. We're doing something amazing. And that is the thing which you want to achieve. If you bring in the discipline in their lives, trust me, you are bringing in the success in their lives. You see all the successful people, they are very, very disciplined. They are doing a lot of things in their life. They're not, we with the COVID, we're stuck with the movies and we're stuck with the PS and we are stuck with the screen time. So the successful people or the people with the more insight or more aware people, they are utilizing this time to getting more knowledge. They are utilizing this time to gaining new skills. So this is what we should do. If you're unable to do this, if you're sad or you're frustrated, it's okay. Give yourself time. I don't want to push you. I don't want you to rush into it because these are the tough times. Inshallah ta'ala, inshallah, Allah will be Rahim on all of us, and these times will be over really very soon. So we were talking about the discipline chart. Discipline chart is the tool to bring a routine into your life. And trust me, if you carry on with this routine for 2 to 3 weeks, they will adopt the habit. And then you don't have to yell at them that, oh, come on, you have to brush your teeth in the morning. Why? Because it will become their habit. It will become their habit and then they'll do it. When I talk about myself, as I told you that I raised in a very compact joint family system and I was spoiled by my grandmother. So there were no set rules for me, because my grandmother, of course, she was old, she was always like adoring me, and there was no set rule or there are no boundaries. So when I was going through the therapy, it was not working at all for me, because my husband is, mashallah, really very disciplined, and he has a set times, and it was becoming very difficult for both of us. So I had to be very disciplined. So when I was going through this, I was also setting the same scale for myself. It can be a spa, it can be a manicure, pedicure. You both can work on it, that, okay, if I'll do it. It can be anything for yourself. If you want to do the gymming, why we can't do the gymming? Because we are unable to come out from our comfort zone. This is what we have to teach our children. Come out from your comfort zone. Do whatever is needed to be done. That is the really very important thing. This is what you have to teach your children, what we haven't learned. This is what you have. Our body is being designed to stay in comfort. Our body is being designed to stay in luxury, like whatever the luxury is provided. It's not designed to go out and fight. It is not designed like that. So it would be really very easy for the kids later on in life to be successful, to follow a routine, if you put in them now. That would not just help you, but it would help your kids later on in the life. So the discipline chart is really very important. And as we talk about the discipline chart, there are 3 kinds of discipline. One is really very harsh, which is really very bad. It is not good. They would find themselves in a jail and then they would rebel. So don't put a lot of discipline on them. 2, sometimes discipline is there, sometimes is not. That creates a lot of confusion. That is also not good. They will never follow the routine. 2, consistency. Be steadfast. Whatever you are doing, just be persistent on that. No, you have to do this. This is the rule. How to make a rule? Bring all the family on the table. Ask them, What should be the rules, you think? Ask them, bring the copy pencil, write it down, keep writing it down. And you should have a chart at the end of the table. And you say that, okay, these are the rules you have set, and this is what we are going to do. This is the discipline chart. And then they will just, the kids, they will remind each other that, oh, this is the rule, we have to do it. Let's give each other a sticker, okay, a star, and then reward them. Rewarding is really very important. Just imagine yourself that if you are doing something good and you will not get a reward, how you're going to feel? Of course you are going to feel not good about it, and you will not want to do it. At least I don't want to do it. If I'm like, there was a time when I had this friend in my life, and we were very close. We were in college, and I was the one who was giving her pick and drop every single day, and she used to live like completely out of the way, and I was like, of course, using a lot of petrol, and it used to be a lot of hassle because my mother was not happy about it. And every day I would come and I would tell my mother, oh, sorry mama, this is what happened, and Ami, it's not going to happen next time. But when it came for her to help me, to drop me to my house, and her brother was there to pick her up, and she refused. And I felt so bad about it. I felt so bad about it that my trust in friendship was shaking, that, oh my God, this is what friendship is. I need her that day. And I was not feeling well. So I had to call a taxi, and I went home anyways. But these things happen. So just put it onto yourself that how you are going to feel if you are not rewarded to what you are doing. Of course, your trust, your faith in your parents is going to be shaken. So you have to reward them, and reward should be immediate, not like, okay, you have done it on the weekend, I'll take you. Okay, you have done it, I'll do something, 2 days ago, after, or maybe a week after. No, the reward should be straight away. Keep the stuff, whatever you want to give, at home, or whatever you want to do. Maybe you can let them watch the movie of their choice. Maybe you want to take them for ice cream. It shouldn't be really very big thing. Maybe you can give them a bit of pocket money. Maybe you can give them a new t-shirt which you maybe bought like 2 months ago and you haven't shown it to them, and you can say that, okay, this is your reward. But reward should be straight away. This is the very important thing. And then while doing all this, don't forget to empathize and sympathize. Empathy is really very important in life. It is really very important to empathize with the children. We have to talk about it, but first let me finish with the character chart. So sometimes we'd see that children, especially during COVID, when they're staying home for a longer time, they started to yell. Like, if you look at me, my voice is really very loud. Why it is loud? Because of my family environment. I grew up with so many boys, I grew up with so many girls, so we all were like talking to each other. It was a very big massive house, and we were a bit loud. So that is the reason I'm a bit loud, and I really need to work on this, and we all have to work on to be better version of ourselves. So for children, how you are going to control that? It would be really very easy to make a character chart. So how you're going to make a character chart? The character chart is no more different than the discipline chart. Like I shown you earlier, the character chart is similar like this. You there is no goal here. Like in this, you have a goal. In the character chart, in the discipline chart, you have a goal in the beginning of the week, and then after 3 days, or maybe after 7 days, you check if the things are working. You keep giving them the star, and then you give them the reward. But what happens in the character chart, throughout the 3 days, or maybe 2 days, or for 3 days, whatever you want to set the goal, as I told, that the goal should be for the lesser time period. When you start it for 2 days or 3 days are really very good to bring someone into the routine. 3 days is a very good time. So put the stickers on the side, and ask your kids or your children to give stickers to each other, and they're not allowed to remove the stickers. They're not allowed to remove the stickers. And at the end of the day, or maybe at the end of end of the 3 days or whatever the set boundary is, you can reward them, or you can give them the badge, or there should be something which you can, like, you can put the crown on their head, do the coronation, that okay, this is the child who was at the best behavior. And these are the things which would just, push them to be good, to be nice with each other, to don't yell at each other. So these are the things. But doing all that, I'm keep repeating myself over and over again, because this is, I think, the most important key in parenting, is to know yourself, is to know yourself first. It is really very important. One of my friends is watching with me, and I'm so happy that she is watching with me. She is a very clean person, and she is like always cleaning a lot. So she has reminded me this one example. When I was growing up, my mother was a bit OCD. So she was always like very up to that, clean this, clean that, as soon as we come from school, or do this, do that. So she was really very strict about that. And I was not happy about it. I never felt happy about this, as much as that when it came, when I grew up a little bit, when I was in my teenage, so that just pushed me so off. I was so away from my mother, and it we didn't have a very good bond, only because she was unable to understand that she has this problem. She's OCD, and at the time I was not even aware. So we both had these problems, that I wasn't able to understand that what's wrong with my mother, why she's doing this to me, and she was even unable to understand what's wrong with her, and why she's putting a lot of pressure to her own children. When I grew up, when we talk about it, of course, it was in my mind. And then I came to know, when I studied a bit of psychology, then I understood that okay, she was OCD. And then I forgave her, and then we spoke to my mother, and I told her that, this is what happening. And then even now my mother realizes that she has a problem. And now at this age, when she's so old, she's improving herself, and she's letting the kids do, because she was unable to understand that why she would get so frustrated when my niece would go to her room and just throw the stuff away. And things like this happen. Now she understands that this is her problem, and she needs to find the solution. Now she's learning the skills. Now she's finding the solutions to fight with her this problem, this issue, so that she would be better and more acceptable. And we know that okay, this is her problem, and this is her issue, so we are more respectable towards her. So you see that without knowing this, we would be more frustrated, that okay, now I have my kids, now going to my mother, I know that how I have to behave. I know my kids know that how to live at when we go to our grandmother's house, what we have to do at nan's house. So these are the things which is really very important. Know yourself, know your self-esteem, know what are your trigger points, know your weak points, know what is the thing, what during the daytime is the time when you feel very very low and down, and how you have to keep them engaged so that you have time yourself. So in parenting, one thing is really very important, which we don't do, is we mothers as mother, because we raised by the mothers who never took care of themselves. So we have to take care of ourselves first, only then we'll be able to raise better kids, better children. So if we are not well taken care of, how we're going to take care of the other human being, other life? So of course we have to be more relaxed, we have to be more happy, we have to be more self-aware. Only then we will be able to raise better children. I remember, my one of my child, the older one, he is Mr. Always Right. He does things absolutely right. So sometimes, like my little kids, they would there's a lesser gap between the last three of them. So they always have fight, and Mama Tariq is the one, the oldest one, is there to tell them off. And sometimes he would yell at them, and I never liked that why he would talk to her sister like that. I never liked that. And we always had that issue. And And because I was going through this program, and I was trying to know myself, and then I realized that, okay, what is the problem? My brother used to taunt me, my brother used to hurt me a lot, and I didn't have a very good relationship at certain age. But now we are like, me and my brother are best friends, we share everything. But at that time, I didn't have a good memory. So unconsciously, without knowing, I was being very harsh to my old one, that why you are doing that. And I didn't have to be really very harsh to him. And as soon as I realized, I stopped doing that. So we are going towards the ad break. We'll be back really very soon. So do join us after a little time. Miyaji? Okay, yes, we are back again. So there was a certain glitch and we are live back on. So this was the show. I hope that you have learned something positive from my show. I really, really hope that you might have learned something positive from my show. So I'm going to end the show here, and these are the skills we have spoken about. We are going to discuss more about it later. We'll be discussing about self-esteem. So it's going to be a very, very interesting show. So please do join us in the next show, which is really very important for the parents. And the skill we learned in this show is that we, am I going live here? Yes. No, on the radio. So this is what we learned, that how we can be better version of ourselves. No, sorry. We are going to learn this in our next show. We are going to talk about the self-esteem. We are going to talk about self-knowledge, and that is going to be a very interesting show. So do join us in our next show. Just try to improve yourself before, like parenting comes like naturally. So try to improve yourself. Try to improve yourself as a parent, and try to have a stronger character before becoming a. Of course, just 1 second. I think there is some glitch on the radio side. Just give me 1 second. So we have left with 3 minutes, and after 3 minutes we are going to be we are going offline. So I'm just quickly going to revise what we have understood in this program. We studied about the 4 important pillars in Islam. Then first of all, you have to be really very important. I'm sorry that you have to have a strong character for yourself. This is what I'm facing. You have to have a routine in your life. Only then you'll be able to give a routine. You have to be disciplined in your life. Only then you can discipline your children. And then we spoke about how to do the skills, how to do that. There can be many routines that you can reward your child if they will finish the routine after every 3 days. Put the target for the 3 days first, and then go up to the 7 days, because 3 days is really very good for any child to bring in the routine. And then we spoke about that you have to be steadfast. You have to have the certain routine, discipline in your life, and the discipline shouldn't be confusing, that one day it is in and the other day it's not there. And trust me that after certain weeks, it will become their habit, and they will keep doing it. And then you can put on another goal while keeping a little bit an eye on the kids. Okay, they're doing it, okay, it's fine, just keep reminding them. But you don't have to be very very strict about that. But with the new routine, and with the new discipline, or with the new routine rule bringing in the life, you have to work, of course, again, really very hard. But trust me, as I said, that in Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that parenting in Islam is really very rewarding, and the reward lies with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I'll finish my show here. Please join me next week, same time, on Ramadan FM, also on the Reading Thoughts, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so very much. Allah Hafiz and Assalamu Alaikum.
of Prophet. Join us every Friday 11 a.m. to 12 noon. Let's refresh our memories and rekindle our love for the Prophet. Let's join Tariq, Riyan, me, Maha with our Mama Sadia.